Meadowhall, after closing, sounded like machinery breathing. Shutters down, lights dimmed, cleaners moving through polished corridors that held the day's fingerprints in glossy silence. Shop windows reflected empty walkways back at themselves, doubling the quiet into something that felt deliberate. Mirror Man worked nights for a subcontractor that changed names every year. The lanyard changed, the pay stayed bad, the rota stayed brutal. The job was to erase evidence of other people's lives. Spilled coffee, pram tracks, makeup smears on glass. The first fracture night arrived with a power cut and a half reset. Emergency lighting blinked in the toilets near the food court, and the mirrors lagged behind movement by a fraction. A hand raised, and the reflection raised it late. A head turned, and the reflected head followed like a delayed thought. A slip happened on wet tiles. A shoulder hit the full-length mirror beside the sinks. Glass did not shatter. Glass accepted. The world inverted into a cold corridor that looked identical, then wrong. Every reflective panel showed a different angle that did not match the body standing there. Sound arrived muffled, as if the air had become fabric. Time outside kept moving. Inside, it felt paused and stretched. Mirror Man found a way out by instinct, pressing palms to any surface that returned a clear reflection. A doorway opened in the skin of a mirror, and the washroom returned with a hard fluorescent snap. The clock on the wall had advanced hours. A supervisor shouted about disappearing off shift. The power stayed anyway. The next test happened in a staff stairwell. A small round mirror sat above a fire extinguisher. Fingers touched the surface, and the mirror softened into entry. A second later, the stairwell was visible from behind the glass, like viewing the world through a television screen. A step forward returned the body into reality again, as if nothing had happened. A private place had formed behind every reflective surface, and the city was full of them. At first, the ability served survival. A locked staff door became irrelevant. A delayed tram became avoidable. A security guard checking bags at closing time became a problem that could be bypassed with a quick step into a backlit shop mirror and out through a different pane 2 corridors away. Then the ability met the part of the mind that kept score. A security guard watched cleaners like suspects, speaking down, threatening to dock pay. One night, the guard grabbed a young cleaner's wrist hard enough to leave a bruise. Mirror Man saw it all through a shop window reflection. The reaction arrived as a clean decision. Some people did not deserve exits. The guard walked into a toilet corridor alone. A hand mirror by the sink caught his face. Mirror Man stepped out of the glass behind him. The guard turned to shout. 30 seconds later, the corridor was empty. The hand mirror reflected a different corridor, colder, longer, lined with doors that never opened. The guard had been moved into the mirror dimension. No blood, no noise, only absence. South Yorkshire police treated it as a missing person. CCTV showed the guard entering the corridor. The files showed him nearing the sinks. The next camera angle showed the corridor empty. Investigators called it a blind spot. More people started deserving it. A man who took photos up women's skirts on escalators. A teen who filmed a cleaner's face and posted mocking clips. Each time, a mirror opened. Each time, the mirror dimension swallowed a person and kept the world tidy. The mirror dimension did not kill quickly. It punished slowly. It was the same corridors, repeated without warmth, without daylight. A trapped person could walk for hours and find only more reflections and locked doors. Mirror Man started hearing them. Not words, but the muffled thud of fists on the other side of glass, the faint scrape of nails. The noise arrived through mirrors at home, through phone screens, through the darkened window of a bus at night. The world became a network of doors that never stayed fully shut. The first innocent mistake happened during a rush of panic. A cleaner collapsed in a staff corridor. Mirror Man stepped forward, trying to move the body away from the camera. A hand brushed a convex safety mirror mounted high in the corridor. The cleaner vanished. A wet patch remained on the floor. The panic turned instantly toxic. Mirror Man tried opening mirrors to retrieve the cleaner, but the mirror dimension showed only long corridors and distant movement. The next morning, Cromwell Applied Systems arrived. 2 people with clean shoes and visitor badges requested a private meeting. A tablet played CCTV frames with missing beats, timestamps that corrected themselves. Cromwell did not accuse. Cromwell offered structure, containment, a controlled environment for mirror events, a list of targets defined as threats. A salary Mirror Man refused. Cromwell adjusted without emotion. A second tablet appeared showing a staff welfare investigation draft. The draft placed Mirror Man's name near the phrase, gross misconduct. The message did not need threats. It carried inevitability. Mirror Man reacted with escalation. A glass shard launched from a shop window reflection. The Cromwell staff lifted a small device that flashed a dull light across the room. The maintenance room mirrors dulled, reflections warped. The surfaces stopped behaving like doors. The mirror dimension receded. Cromwell had learned to lock mirrors. Mirror Man ran, searching for an uncoated exit. A final door appeared in a small compact mirror in a handbag display. A step forward landed inside the mirror dimension again, cold and endless. The exit did not reopen. The last view of the real world arrived through a sliver of glass. Cromwell staff placing a sealed evidence bag around the compact mirror, tagging it with a barcode and a neat label. The label included a phrase used elsewhere in England since the fracture began: anomaly containment. Outside, Meadowhall reopened. The mirrors reflected families and food court queues. In the mirror dimension, footsteps continued in corridors that never aged, and the thudding on glass slowly became part of the background noise of the world. Don't miss what happens next. Watch the next episode to see who else is locked away in the evidence locker. Like this video and subscribe for more.